I had to clear my throat.
Let me clear my throat.
Yes.
What? Hi, podcast besties.
Hi, besties.
We're back and better than ever.
I was just gonna say that. I was like, open my mouth to say it, and then you just said you said it
because I already said it. Anyways,
and better than ever. I said it too. Hi.
Hello.
Hi.
So we're back. We're better than ever,
And we're queer.
and still queer, unfortunately. In 2023, unfortunate.
Andrew wouldn't give me a kiss.
For the record, Andrew's a homosexual. Anyways, welcome to another episode of Isn't That Odd podcast.
I'm Breana.
And all things spooky pod. I'm Paul.
Okay.
And that's Breana.
Yes.
And today, as always, we have some spooky stories. Actually, no, we don't.
Mine's true crime today. What's yours?
Mine is conspiracy, and it's not spooky. I guess it could be spooky, depending on how you look at it.
Mine's not spooky. It's kind of stupid and quirky.
We love stupid. This is going to be a stupid and quirky episode.
Just like us. Which one are you? Are you stupid or quirky? I could tell you, but I want you to guess.
Wait. You're going to say stupid.
I was going to say you're quirky, babe. I would never call you
please.
I would never call you stupid.
To my face.
I would never.
Actually, no, you would only call me stupid to my face.
That's true, yeah. I'm very honest. If there's one thing about me, I'm very honest. Paul, you're stupid.
Thank you.
And quirky, babe. Don't forget quirky.
Quirky outweighs the stupid.
You can't see it, but we're putting our hair behind our ears like Debbie Ryan.
For what it's worth, we haven't seen each other in 2 weeks. Did we? No,
we literally saw each other last week.
It's felt like 2 weeks.
We saw each other last Tuesday.
See you last Tuesday.
And see you next Tuesday. We're actually not going to see
That's cult. See you last Tuesday?
It's called and cunt. We're actually not going to see each other next Tuesday, though.
No, we're not.
No.
Brandon doesn't like me enough. I was trying to get her to come see me on Thursday, and she said, no.
I am coming to see you on Thursday, though. We already decided. Unless we do it all today.
I'm sure we can do it all today.
We can try it. I don't want to be here all day, though.
Don't be homophobic.
I'm not being homophobic. I'm just a baby.
Because I'm a baby, that's why. But yeah, we haven't seen each other in a while, and a lot's gone on, but we can't talk about most of it.
Yeah.
Because it's very personal. But I did have therapy today, so that was fun.
I know. I'm very proud of you. All jokes aside, I'm very proud of you.
Breana was doing a really cute thing where she was down here doing podcast stuff while I was just talking my heart out upstairs doing therapy.
Shout out to anybody who saw the Instagram story I posted of Paul being in therapy, but I was in hell.
Yeah, she did a cute thing where she was on fire and she's like, Paul's in therapy and I'm in hell. And I was like, that's so cute. You have to post it.
Oh, also, before I forget, by the time you're hearing this episode, all of our episodes will be available on YouTube now. I figured it out, so we'll be back on our YouTube grind.
Yeah, Breana figured that out. Apparently, I was doing it a completely wrong way.
I wasn't
and then
doing
Canva said, you need to stop. And that's why nothing would ever download and I can never figure it out. And that's why we stopped because
Paul was actually making it a lot harder for himself. Usually I'm the one who does all like the Canva creative stuff. And then I was like, let me figure it out. And then I finally gave myself time to do it today while Paul was in therapy because I was just here shooting the shit. And I was like, oh, I got time. Let me do it. And then I was like, oh, it's literally what I've been doing, just longer.
I mean, for what it's worth, it's not necessarily about how you get the answer. It's just matters if you get the answer.
And I just had the answer this whole time, but I didn't realize that it was the answer.
And I just took the long convoluted.
Is that the word you're looking for?
Yep.
Oh, okay.
Took the long convoluted route.
It's okay.
When doing it. And then Canva quite literally was just like, you need to stop doing it this way.
Babe was like, stop.
And then I was just like, Brown, I don't know what to do. I can't get any videos. I can't upload. And so that's why we've been MIA from YouTube. But Brianna figured it out. She saved the day.
It took me a little while, though, because I have a lot on my plate. But I figured it out, and that's all that matters.
So if you're listening to this on YouTube, hi, welcome back to YouTube.
Hello.
If you're not listening on YouTube,
go
you
to
probably
YouTube.
don't care.
Yeah, go to But if you do care a little bit, go to YouTube.
Yeah, but there's not video. It would be one thing if it was video, but if they're already listening on like Spotify or something, what's the point of going to YouTube?
I mean, we could be video one day. You never know. They could be listening to this.
So go follow our YouTube. So when we are video, you know.
They could be listening to this in like 2 years, and we could be video by then.
Because we'll eventually get a podcast room, and when we do, we'll set up a nice little cute background. We'll have some cool plants,
and Breana will have a nice chair to sit in because I'm trying to get a nice chair to sit in because I want a cool chair to sit in.
It'll be a whole new thing. I'll put some like LED lights, so like we set the mood. Like,
I just want a chair that will hold my iPad, so I don't have to hold it in my hands.
Yeah, Breana, did you actually end up ordering?
No, I didn't.
Brianna sent me randomly the other night, just like, this could solve all my problems. And it was just like an arm that can connect to the arm of the
mic holder.
Mic thing we have.
Because my arm always gets tired holding on my iPad and I'm trying to read my notes.
Yeah, she holds up an iPad.
It's a first world problems.
I rest my MacBook on my knee, and that's how I do mine.
It's a first world problem. My arm just gets really tired. I just forgot to buy the armrest because I'm a piece of shit and I have ADHD.
Yeah, so
I have a pea brain.
Being a podcast host is pretty hard.
But we make it look really easy because we're just so quirky and different.
That's just how good we are.
And we're just built different.
That's why you guys listen to us every week, because we're just the best.
Yeah.
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 So because we're so great, we're going to get the party started.
And the floor is yours, my dear.
Yeah, it is. Today I got a conspiracy that actually comes to you from the well-known intern of ours, Nor.
Shout out to Nor.
Shout out to Nor for giving me this idea and all the sources that I needed for this, because it'll be amazing. I smell fire. I can't fire.
It's because you're on fire.
Thank you.
Now that you say that,
hot and sizzling.
Now that you say that, I also smell fire.
It's because I'm on fire. I'm right in front of you.
Yeah.
Anywho,
I'm keeping that in.
Yikes. Ever just look up in the sky and be amazed by the wildlife you see? So many birds flying around, carelessly chirping away and seemingly having the time of their life.
I thought you were going to start referencing airplanes, because I think about that all the time. How many airplanes are above you at all times?
Airplanes in the night sky like shooting stars.
B.O.B. believes in flat earth.
Oh. What it would be like to...
Shout out to episode 1.
We won't touch upon that. What it would be like to be carefree and fly amongst the clouds like these beautiful creatures.
I don't think about that.
Unless, of course, they aren't actual animals and are maybe an advanced piece of technology.
Like a drone.
Crafted up by the government to spy on us?
Like a drone.
Today's conspiracy is going to cover the theory of, yes, birds not being real.
I have a question.
Yeah.
Did you or did Nor give you the sources of the FBI documents that got declassified?
No.
Oh, because
there's this?
Yes, there's FBI documents that got declassified about this.
Oh.
Did you know that?
What did they say?
That this is real? It was real at some point. I don't know if it still is real.
Yeah, but I mean, this overarching conspiracy is like all birds are.
At some point, though, and there was a point where all the birds were not real in a certain area. They were all...
This conspiracy is every bird on the planet is not real.
Well,
whereas that, I mean, I know
I bet
for
the
a fact
Canadian
governments would do stuff like that to make it believable. I mean,
I bet the Canadian
that's why there's
geese outside my job that was walking outside, and I called him a distinguished gentleman when he was window shopping, shaking his little booty. I bet he was
his little booty.
I bet he was a little cameraman, and I hope he was, because I was throwing him compliments left and right, and I bet that his little NSA agent was like, "Girl, I'm blushing."
That'd be cute.
I'm sorry. Go ahead into your story.
But I know they're really. I don't.
Are you gonna say you know that this is real? Is that what you're gonna say?
No.
Oh, okay.
So I know the government would do stuff like that because I mean we have cameras and so many random things
like up your butt.
They even have like pinhole cameras that are in
your butt.
Yes, that are in like wall chargers, so you could like put it in the wall and it's like a charger. And you
Do you want to know a secret?
What?
Keywan has one of those cameras in our apartment, and when we went to Florida, he was watching Roxy through that.
Yeah, that's what I'm saying. Like, there's just cameras in anything, so I don't not believe that the government didn't like make a fake bird and have a camera on it.
Mm-hmm.
But the overarching theme of this one is like every bird is from the government. Got it. Now, I know what you're thinking. Birds not being real sounds absolutely absurd, right? Mm-hmm. Well, that's what I thought too.
That's what you thought?
But bear with me as we explore the claims and arguments made by supporters of this theory, and let's go on a journey of how this all came to light.
Let's go on a journey.
So where did this whole birds aren't real idea come from? It all began in 2017 when a college student launched a viral campaign suggesting that birds are, in fact, government surveillance drones.
Of course it came from a college student. That man was probably off his fucking rocker.
As you were saying throughout my whole intro, drones.
That man was off his fucking rocker. He was probably high as shit.
Yes, most likely.
He was high as shit on drugs and also high as shit because he was a bird.
Yep. So yes, you heard that right. Drones disguised as birds.
I thought there was a bird outside your window. I was like, they're listening.
The idea caught fire on social media and people started questioning the nature of these creatures we see every day. They even had a whole website created called birdsaren'treal.com where they honestly have some fire merch. Like I saw it and I was like, I kind of want to buy it. And they even have linked to some videos where like ex-CIA agents confirm this, that like bird surveillance drones are like a real thing. So essentially what you're just referring to.
I have a question.
And a bunch of other resources to back their theory.
I'm sorry. I have a question.
Yeah.
So for theories like this where there's like ex-CIA agents and like whistleblowers, do you think they're being honest? Because if I was an anything.
No, I would fuck with people all the time.
Right? I feel like I'd be like, oh, yeah, of course.
Yeah, I was put on this case back in 1980, and let me tell you.
Let me clear my throat. And
no. But yeah, that, I would fuck with people all the time.
Okay, yeah. Because, gaslight, gatekeep, girl boss, you already know.
Fun.
Yeah, okay.
It's a good time. So, supporters of this theory argue that birds exhibit behaviors that seem too coordinated and unnatural for living creatures.
Like going south?
Going south, you know how they fly in like V formations, like all that.
Don't make me snap my fingers in a Z formation.
I said V, not Z. But
do you know that?
They claim that these so-called birds are actually sophisticated machines created by the government to monitor our every move.
They're sophisticated machines, but they fly into windows.
Thinking twice about the bird that just happened to perch on a windowsill now, huh? Hope you had clothes on, at least, because they be watching, babe.
There was a bird, there's a crow, to be exact, on my porch the other day, and Roxy was fucking staring at that shit. She said, bitch, what are you doing?
You covered your phone camera, so your FBI agent was like,
I hate when you say FBI because it's NSA.
It's all of them.
It's not.
Now, let's pause for a moment and take a step back. We know that birds have been a part of our natural environment for millions of years, right? They've found in just about every corner of the globe with countless species displaying unique behaviors, migration patterns, and ecological rules. Ornithologists and biologists have dedicated their lives to studying these remarkable creatures and have amassed a wealth of knowledge about their anatomy, physiology, and evolutionary
What the
history.
fuck is that?
What?
Did you say an orthodontist?
Ornithologist?
An orthodontist.
Ornithologist.
Orthodontist. Why are you talking about a teeth doctor?
I'm not. I'm talking about the doctor that studies birds.
The doctor that studies birds. Does he talk about the birds'
Ornithologists are experts that study birds.
Okay. I really thought you were talking
Orthodontists are doctors
that do braces, right?
That do braces.
Yeah, okay. That's really what I thought you were talking about. Horn. Porn.
Or orth. Oh. Shout out, Jimmy.
That's not where I was going. I'm sorry. Go ahead. Keep talking.
But here's the thing. The proponents of the birds aren't real theory argue that the scientific evidence is part of the conspiracy. They claim that the fossil records are fabricated and the studies conducted by experts are nothing more than cover-ups orchestrated by the government.
How do you fabricate fossils?
I mean, if I may, this could potentially lead into a past conspiracy I talked about where the New World Order was coming to town and making false fossil records and natural disasters to take control of the populace.
Oh, yeah, that's when I thought they were faking earthquakes. We thought about faking earthquakes.
Vibrators. Not saying this is what's going on here, too, but I'm also not saying that.
I'm not.
Not.
Can you not a not?
But I am getting a plug to episode 3.
Can you not?
That's when I talk about all that. If you want to hear about the New World Order, go back to episode 3.
Can you not?
Not.
I cannot not.
Cannot not. Not.
Na.
Hey. No.
I apologize. I have a lot of energy today.
I can tell. Adding on to this, the theory can go deeper due to the recent quarantine and pandemic we experienced as a world. During this pandemic, we were all locked inside of our houses for a long time, right? where you couldn't really go anywhere, see people really do much but play Animal Crossing, swipe on TikTok, and maybe go to the grocery store every once in a while. With such a large part of the world not outside and observing, what could this be set up for? Perfect timing for maybe changing the birds' batteries?
Are you fucking kidding me?
Some theorists that fight for the birds aren't real theory suggest quarantine was set up by the government to simply make it convenient for them to more easily switch out the batteries on all of their bird drones.
I promise you, I was working at the Red Store the whole time everyone else was in quarantine. So I didn't have a quarantine. I had to work still.
Did you see a lot
40 hours. 40 hours a week. I was at work. Let me tell you, they weren't doing that. They weren't doing that. They were coming into the Red Store just screaming at me about things being out of stock, not having enough toilet paper, and masks being out of stock. That's what they were doing. That's what people were doing. They were not changing the batteries on fucking birds, let me tell you.
The government was. Struggling enough, though, the activists behind the movement on birdsaren'treal.com have released a video talking about this, and they aren't even behind this theory. They, as they should, have said that... Why did I write that? Oh, no, that's right. They, as they should, have said that the quarantine and pandemic are a very serious matter and should be taken as such, and it just isn't an excuse to change birds' batteries. Because it's not. Yeah. It was a real freaking thing.
As I say.
Get boosted, get vaxxed, FYI.
I thought you were going to say get fucked. I was like, honestly, same.
No, I mean, that too, I guess, if you need it. So... Why do they think this exactly? I mean, they're stupid. They think birds aren't real. This is a perfect, piece to their puzzle. Well, because the government doesn't need to change the batteries, as birds are rechargeable. And how do they charge?
Solar power.
On power lines.
Power lines.
Right above us on a day-to-day basis.
Wouldn't solar power make more sense? Oh, no, because the government doesn't want things to be solar powered.
Right. But
hold on. I'm catching up now. I'm thinking big brain. I'm catching up now. Don't even worry about me, guys. I'm on the train now. Don't worry.
So who needs a pandemic and quarantine when the technology is able to discreetly charge on the power lines that supply all of its power on an everyday basis? Speaking
of birds on a power line, do you know that Disney short of the birds on the power line, and it's like the little blue birds, and then that one big ass bird keeps coming to sit on the power lines? And it keeps moving the power lines down. Yeah. The little bird's like, fuck you, get off the fucking power lines.
Because they're fucking up their recharge.
It shocks all the birds. Big brain.
Big brain.
It's not because they're power lines or anything.
No. Now, I must admit, it's hard to fathom how such an elaborate scheme could be pulled off. If birds were replaced by surveillance drones, it would require an extraordinary effort to fool the entire scientific community, not to mention the countless bird watchers and enthusiasts who observe the creatures every day. Also, adding on to that, it would be a lot to fool the hunters out there that have shot down and used these birds for meat. Because how can you disguise a drone as bird meat? You just can't. Right?
Okay.
I was just asking.
No, I don't know.
Trying to get your input.
Well, I don't have an answer. I don't know what to say. Okay.
This must be some very advanced construction and technology to be able to accomplish all of this foolery.
I have an answer.
Furthermore, the theory overlooks the intricate behaviors exhibited by the birds. From
Mitchell.
From mating rituals to nest building and raising their young, birds engage in complex and instinctive behaviors that would be extremely challenging to replicate with drones. I mean, I can make my Sims have woohoo time, so why can't drone birds?
Aliens.
Simulation?
Is that the answer? Is it aliens?
No.
No.
However, I understand that skepticism is healthy and questioning the information presented to us is important. But when it comes to the birds aren't real theory, we need to consider the overwhelming evidence that supports the existence of birds as living beings and not merely robots flying above the sky.
Mm-hmm.
So, why does this theory persist? Perhaps as a form of entertainment, a way to challenge the status quo and spark imaginative discussions. Conspiracy theories often thrive in the gaps between certainty and doubt, feeding off our natural curiosity and desire for hidden truths.
Mm-hmm.
As we wrap up, it's crucial to remember that critical thinking involves evaluating evidence, consulting experts, and relying on logical reasoning.
Now you're talking shit. You said critical thinking, bitch. Critical thinking, bitch. You said the birds are not fucking surveillance drones. You said critical thinking, bitch. Now you're talking shit.
While the idea of birds as surveillance drones might capture our imagination, we must separate speculation from scientific consensus.
You're talking shit.
Well, there you have it. The birds aren't real theory examined through a critical lens. Whether you find it fascinating or preposterous, exploring conspiracy theories can open our minds to different perspectives and teach us to question the world around us. So much so that you should probably even question this very here podcast and episode. Why would you question this episode and what I'm telling you right now? Oh, I know. Because this whole script was written by ChatGPT, and no one would have known it, and the world as we know it is going to be taken over by AI in no fucking time. But that's another conspiracy for another day. Until next time, be vigilant, question the world around you, and maybe think twice before letting a bird keep watch on your window.
You know what's really annoying?
What?
The fact that you probably didn't do your notes, and then you're like, oh, I know. I'm just going to let the chat thing write my notes for me so I don't have to, and then you just tied that into your story. Like, it wasn't... No. It wasn't even because you wanted it to be part of your story. You're just like, I just don't feel like fucking doing my notes. So then you just let it write your notes for you.
Well, no, it's funny because this... So, I had the idea of doing that because, one, I do believe AI is going to take over the world. So I was like, that's just going to be a little foreshadow for the future. And two, this is just a very easy and quick topic to talk about. Like, I could have written this no issue. But I was like, let me see what ChatGPT would actually do for like, can it write podcast notes? Can it write a script? And it busted this out. And I was like, this is everything I want to talk about. And like 98% of this is that script. And I just added in my little extras. And I was like,
I'm going to start doing that shit.
That's when I texted you yesterday. And I was like, I want you to know I'm really excited for my conspiracy theory.
Oh. So you cheated.
Yes.
So you cheated and you lied.
ChatGPT just did my notes for me.
So I'm calling the director.
Yeah. You gotta expel me from school. I've been naughty.
I think we should...
But yeah, I thought it was really funny and fun. It just added a little extra spice to my
you weren't looking at my face, but as soon as you said that, I went... I like cocked my head, my eyes went wide. I said, huh? Who wrote it?
I just wanted to add some extra spice because this was just a quick episode to begin with, and there wasn't a lot of meat to this theory, as there's nothing really. It's just some college kid just threw this from his fucking noggin, so there wasn't.
He
much
was high off his shit. He said, that bird's staring at me a little too long. He said, I bet it's a drone.
Wanted to make it a little more fun, but yeah,
and more quirky.
I feel like ChatGPT is just showing up everywhere.
I have no idea what that is.
So it's essentially, it's AI, and all I literally had to do was go to the website and then type in, write me a podcast script about birds not being real. And then I hit enter, and it just, within like a minute, it wrote that entire script. You can have it do all of that. I had it look at my resume and like rewrite my resume. Like, you can have it do a lot of shit. That's why it's becoming an issue in school, because kids will just be like, write me a 5-paragraph essay on the Holocaust.
Catch me on the flip side.
And then you can even get even more intricate and be like, write me a 5-paragraph essay on the Holocaust with in-text citations in MLA format, and that's just going to pump that all out.
Catch me on the flip side. Catch me doing that shit.
Be careful, because it is obviously computer generated and it's just pulling stuff from the internet, so a lot of it can go wrong or not be true. But all I know, if I was in school, I'd be doing that.
Oh, no, not for school. I said, like...
Oh, no.
I'm going to fuck around with it. I'm going to fuck around and find out and see what it can do. I'm going to fuck around and find out.
If they had this for school, you bet I'd be trying it for, like, some essays. Have it write it, and then put in one of those programs that rewrite sentences so it sounds different and it can't be caught in...
Well, I go to art school, so it's
not going to help you.
Yeah.
I mean, it could.
Not really.
We could explore it. Let's explore it in real time. When you go to art school, what in your art school endeavors, what are something like, what would you have to do?
So fun facts about me, I go to school for interior design. I currently take an art history class, so I guess there's that. I have to do papers on like different things in art history.
So you still write papers?
Yeah, but they're not really like papers. It's just like discussion posts and then like quick little assignments. But like, it's basically just like, look at this piece of art and then like discuss it. But it's not like...
I wonder, what is a piece of art you've had to draw recently?
Draw recently?
Yeah, just like, what is something you've had to to draw or create recently?
I had to for my sketching class. I had to draw a corner of a city.
I don't know if it can actually do like drawing stuff, but no, it's all text based. Whatever. I tried. He's like, it was just like, I apologize, but as text based, AI, I'm unable to sketch, but I can help describe a city of a corner to you. Please let me know what specific details or aspects you'd like me to focus on, such as buildings, streets, landmarks. So
I guess it could give you like an idea. It could
give you the basis, and it could be you essentially are just making your own prompt of just
instead of coming up with the ideas. Instead of coming up with the ideas yourself, you would put it in there, and it would tell you. So for the project that I had, it had one of the buildings had to have a pitched roof, and then there had to be like a background, a middle ground, and a foreground. Those are the only prompts that were for the assignment, but you could do anything else you wanted to do.
Middle ground and
foreground.
Yeah.
So there had to be like buildings in the background, buildings in the middle, and then a building like right in front of you.
Here's a description of a street corner with a building featuring a pitched roof, along with a background, middle ground, and foreground. Foreground. At the foreground of the street corner, there is a bustling pedestrian crosswalk and well-worn gray pavement. Marked by white zebra stripes, people of various ages and backgrounds are navigating their way across the street, some in a hurry while others leisurely stroll along. The corner features a lamppost adorned with a small metal sign displaying the street name, casting a soft glow in the early evening. Middle ground. Directly on the corner stands a charming two-story building with brick exterior showcasing a warm reddish hue. The building's pitched roof is covered in slate tiles that gleam in the sunlight. Tall windows with white frames line the facade. Facade? Or is it facade? I don't know. Allowing glimpses of activity inside. On the ground floor, a small cafe extends its outdoor seating area with wrought iron tables and chairs arranged neatly beneath vibrant striped umbrellas. Patrons sit, engage in conversation, sipping on steaming cups of coffee or enjoying delectable pastries.
It's insane because I can picture this exactly in my head.
Background, beyond the street corner, the cityscape unfolds. A diverse array of buildings, both old and modern, stretch into the distance. Glass and steel towers soar into the sky, reflecting the sun's rays, while historical structures with ornate facades proudly retain their timeless beauty. The backdrop showcases a mix of architectural styles representing the city's rich history and continuous growth. As you gaze further, a glimpse of greenery emerges. A park comes into view, its trees standing tall and majestic, offering a refreshing contrast to the urban landscape. A fountain sparkles at its center, providing a peaceful oasis amidst the urban hustle. Overall, this street corner captures the essence of a lively city, blending the charm of a quaint building with a pitched roof, a vibrant pedestrian atmosphere in the foreground, and a diverse cityscape stretching into the background.
That's crazy.
That all happened in a minute. Like, that wrote that all in a minute.
Like, yeah, that's
and
just
all
insane.
it took was that simple. You can even get more intricate with it and put more details if you have your own idea. But this shit's crazy.
Yeah.
Like, that's your whole project. Now you take all those words and you just draw it.
Just draw, yeah.
And you don't have to think about you don't have to plan or think about what to draw. You have it all. Now you just draw it.
That's crazy.
So yeah, that's my little
why plagiarize when you could just
right. That's my little AI segment of this podcast.
That'll be another fucking podcast episode.
Yeah, but it's crazy.
That might just be that might be your special right there. There's a Paul special talking about that. There you go.
It's just crazy. I've been obsessed with this for a while because I've just seen it everywhere. And so I wanted to throw it into the podcast real quick.
Fuck yeah. Jesus Christ.
Yeah. So that's all I got for today. I'll see if you can even muster up anything close to what I did.
Yeah, fuck you. I think we should throw it back and give them a little classic. We're going to have an ad break.
Oh, okay.
Bye.
Bye. And we're back and better than ever. And now it's going to be Miss Breana's turn after that enticing ad break. If I could follow up Paul's riveting story. It's going to be hard, but I believe in you.
I can't stand you. It's a good thing you're sitting. Go ahead, say it.
Well, now I don't wanna.
Good.
It's a good thing you're sitting, bitch.
I hope you choke on the drink.
I choke on things, but it's not this drink, I can tell you that.
So my sources today. So my story today is going to be a true crime story. And shout out to Noor. I got this from the rec sheet that Noor sent us. So shout out to Noor for this. My sources today are going to be smithsonianmag.com, irishpost.com, and allthingsinteresting.com.
I feel like at this point, we're probably at the point where you can just assume our stories are coming from Noor.
Yeah, we really have this like huge rec sheet where Noor just like puts ideas down, and then we're just not really, because sometimes I have a lot of stories that I want to talk about, and then I'm just like, I don't know when I want to talk about them, because a lot of them, I have stories I want to talk about, but they take a lot of research, so if I have a lot of stuff going on, I can't talk about them.
2 out of 3 of my currently researched topics, including the one I just talked about, were from Noor. My future true crime one was one I had off the noggin that I'm actually really excited about. But that was it. The other 2 that I have currently done were just from that rec sheet. So at this point, just assume it's from Noor. We'll still shut you out though, because thanks for doing all the work for us.
So, you ever get in one of those moods, or just like get those vibes where you just swear everybody is out to get you?
Every day.
Like, I could have sworn that guy on the highway cut me off on purpose. Or I could have sworn I've seen this guy before. Wait. He's been following me, though, for a while. Anyway, we all get these feelings one time or another. Unfortunately, it's just a natural feeling that we get. Some of us, though, we get so down and stuck in our heads that we actually don't even see what's really going on around us. Like, for example, I don't know, a handful of people plotting your murder for an insurance payout.
Love that.
I know. That's crazy, right? But imagine you live. That's the story I have today.
Do I get the money?
That's the story I have today. The crazy story of an insurance scam and the guy who just would not die. Michael Malloy.
Go off, King. Can I say something really funny, though? Kind of relating to that opener. Is not me, like a week ago, cutting someone off to get here, like to get to my house. And then they ended up following, like, to that side street. They were behind me and just like kept going to the side. I thought I'd turn into the street and they'd be gone, but no, they turned too. And I was like, oh, okay, when I turn left to come onto here, like they'll turn too, they'll just keep going. But then they turned left and I was like, so I made a big circle to make sure they weren't following me. Because like I can't just pull in my house. What if they're trying to pull up? I don't want them to know where I live.
That's very safe.
And none of that was completely true. Like they were going to, I think, to the center of town, and that's just the easiest way. Like, they were going to wherever they were going.
Why was that me though? On the highway this morning on the way here, I'm going to tell the story again because it just made my whole fucking day. On the drive here, I got stuck in traffic, and anybody who knows me knows how much traffic makes me want to commit arson. I hate sitting in traffic. It just makes me so angry.
We love arson.
And so I was driving, and then I got out of traffic, and I was already annoyed from sitting in traffic. And so I'm already just like speeding. I'm going like 85 on the fucking highway. And this guy in this fucking big blacked out SUV, I think it was a GMC, but he was riding my fucking ass, and it was pissing me the fuck off because I was already speeding. And so he's like trying to get past me, and he's pissing me off. So I was like, fuck you, you're not passing me. And so I wouldn't let him pass me.
Stop. I do that all the time.
Won't let them pass you?
Because I'll always be looking in my rear view, and if I see someone like speeding and weaving through traffic to get through, I'm a stomp. If there's something about me, I'm a stomp on my gas, and I'm gonna line up perfectly with the person in the middle that's also lined up with the person on the right to make sure you ain't going nowhere big. Yeah. You can go behind me, but I ain't going any faster. You can go behind them, but I'm going the same speed as them, so you're gonna be stuck.
Yeah, because
do
fuck
it all
you.
the time.
Why do you think you're more important than everybody else to get where you're going? Like, you're not that fucking important. And he was a fucking douchebag. And so I was like, fuck you, I'm not going any faster. So I actually slowed down. I was like, no, now we're going to go the fucking speed limit. Fuck you. And so I'm driving, and then eventually I just had to get over because I was getting off the highway. So I get over, and then he started speeding up again. And as soon as I flick my blinker on, though, I immediately just like, and I have acrylic nails on. So I immediately take my middle finger, my long ass fucking finger.
It is pretty long.
And I just take that shit and I just put it up against the window, just clink it against the fucking window, and I'm just flipping him off. No expression on my face. I have my sunglasses on, expressionless face. I'm not giving this man anything but the middle finger. He pulls up next to me, sees me flipping him off, and just stays right next to my car. And I just turn my head and I look at him and I stare him dead in the eyes as I'm flipping him off. I'm driving completely straight. Like, I'm just staring him and I'm just flipping him off. And he's so mad. He's like, oh yeah. He's like mouthing me like, oh yeah, okay. And then he like speeds in front of me, cuts me off. and then just like gets in the and then flips and then like gets over again and like speeds off, and I'm like, oh,
big tough guy.
yeah, oh, and it's just so funny because I know that I ruined his day by doing that. Like I made him so mad, and it made my day. I was in such a good mood after that. I was like, yes.
Crazy you could do that. Ruin someone else's day but make your own.
I know, because I was like, fuck you, dude. Honestly, it just made me so angry because I was like, why do you think you're so important? Anyway.
That's so many people on the road. It's so bad. I will travel.
I have really bad road rage too. That's the thing too. Is I'm such a good driver. It's from driving without a license for so long though. I have my license now, so you can't do anything about it. But I was driving without a license for a hot minute. Allegedly.
It's crazy because the speed limit on highways here are 65, and there's sometimes I'll go in the furthest right lane where it's supposed to be the slow lane, quote unquote, and I'll just cruise at 75 and I'm like, let's see how many people pass me. Dude, so many times there'll be nobody behind me because they all speed in front in the left and middle lane. Like there's just no one around because they've all fucking blew past me. I'm like, I'm going 10 miles an hour over the speed limit as is, and y'all are nowhere to be found. Like, how?
It's crazy, yeah.
Where are y'all going?
And I'm like, why was I already speeding? And then this guy's up my fucking ass, and then he tried to intimidate me, and I was like, wrong bitch. There's one thing about me. If there's one thing you have to know about me, is I'm not going to let a man intimidate me. There's one thing about me is I don't care what's packing. I don't care if it gets me killed. I don't care what happens. And it's something I need to work on. I'm working on it in therapy. But there's one thing I'm not going to let a man intimidate me because you got the wrong bitch. You got the wrong bitch. I'll go down fighting. You got the wrong bitch. I would have fought that man on the highway. I would have fought that man on the highway. 100%. I would have. Fuck him. Fuck him.
Fuck him.
Fuck him.
Fuck him.
In the butt. Queen. Anyway.
Anyways.
Back to the story. Anyway, back to Michael Malloy. So our story today is going to take place in Bronx, New York City during the Great Depression, and it's centered again around Michael Malloy. So Malloy was a homeless, unemployed immigrant man from Ireland with no family, and to be honest, that's all anybody, including himself, seemed to know about him. We actually don't even know how old he was. Which is so fucking funny. Malloy was known for doing odd jobs around the area, and he favored being paid in booze instead of money. With that being said, he frequented a
Damn, babe.
I just tried to say the word local, but the word saloon is next to it. So I was going to say...
Laloon?
Yeah. So I immediately cut myself off. I fucking hate when I do this. He frequented a local saloon/speakeasy where everybody knew him, and it was owned by Tony Blarneo, I think is how you pronounce his last name. Tiger. Basically. You're stupid. Here, Malloy would come in, and he would request, quote, another morning's morning, if you don't mind. And then he would drink until he passed out on the floor.
Mood.
And he would do this day in and day out. And for whatever goddamn motherfucking reason, Tony would let Malloy and everybody else drink on credit. And obviously credit is like a tab.
I was just about to ask, if this man's homeless and drinking like a fucking fish, where's he getting the money?
Everybody there, plus Malloy, is drinking on a tab.
So this man is lending.
Mm-hmm. And clearly, this is during the Great Depression, so none of these are being paid. So it's clear to say that business was not booming. It was not booming.
He's taking the business in the opposite direction. Mm-hmm. This man turning into a loan shark for alcohol.
Mm-hmm. And not in a good way. With that being said, one afternoon, in July of 1932, Tony was complaining to his pals, Francis Pessequa, I think is how you pronounce his name,
okay,
and Daniel Kessenberg, about how business was not doing too hot. Shocker.
Can't imagine why.
Could not imagine why. He's doing everything in his power to make sure that business is absolutely booming, so I'm not surprised that it's not. And they hatched up this genius plan. They were going to take out a life insurance policy on Malloy, but they were going to say that he was somebody else and they were going to collect the money. Boom. Easy money, right? I mean, who would report the local homeless man missing, right? He's a drunk. Who would report him?
Right.
But they needed more people in on the plan to really pull this off. So altogether, it's going to be the original three, which was Tony, Francis, and Daniel. But then they also brought in the bartender, whose name was Red Murphy. And then they also brought in petty criminals, Dan McLaney, Edward. They also called him Tin Ear Smith, Tough Tony Bradstone, and Joseph Magalone, I think is how you pronounce his last name.
It's crazy. They have this big scheme to get a lot of money, and they're bringing in as many people as they can possibly bring in and split the money with.
It's crazy you say that because they end up bringing in more people. So just
That's so
just
I would just kill the man myself.
Listen to the story. I know.
I just think it's stupid.
It is. The whole story is stupid.
I mean, get you a check however you want to get it. I don't care. I won't judge. But why are you bringing in 1,700 people?
You know what's actually crazy? Or if you just don't let people drink on credit.
That too.
That would solve so many problems.
That should probably be the starting point.
You actually don't have to murder people if you just ran your business properly. I love where your morals lie. Love that for you, sweetie.
You'll see him on a future true crime episode. Isn't That Odd podcast?
Isn't That Odd podcast now ran by Breana, and we're going to be covering the story of Paul.
Have I just suddenly go missing from the podcast and Breana is doing it solo?
No, I'm saying I'm going to be covering you because you're a murderer.
That's what I'm saying. She's covering my story.
Anyway, so this plan ended up becoming, they were going to take out 3 insurance policies out for somebody named Nicholas Melroy, who was going to be Red's cousin. And they were going to give Malloy enough booze to drink himself to death. And then they were going to have Red identify the body as his cousin, and bam, money. Easy peasy lemon squeezy. Each person in the little, murder trio gang, whatever, would receive $3,576 in their time money. In today's money, that would be about $65,000.
Damn.
That's a lot of motherfucking money.
You do a whole lot with that money, beer.
I can kind of see why they did what they did.
And you were just giving me shit, brother.
And you would do it too for a check.
I would.
And I was going to get Employee of the Month. And that's on period. Again. It's always going to be this again. Ugh. I love me some Coco Jones. The problem...
Keep it in.
I was like, what just happened?
That came from the depths of my stomach, dude.
I know. That's what I was like,
and
whoa.
It vibrated the whole time. I was like...
I was like, what just happened? So they go ahead with their plan, and they start filling Malloy's glasses. The problem is, Tony kept filling Malloy's glasses, and after 3 days, this motherfucker... This motherfucker was still throwing the glasses back. He was still fucking drinking. And it's funny because he's literally from Ireland. I don't know what they expect. It's literally a pastime there. Of course he's still fucking drinking.
Yeah.
So Tony decided that he needs to up the ante. He was gonna up the game, right? So he spiked the drinks. What did he spike them with? I'll tell you, don't worry.
Arsenic.
Antifreeze.
Close enough.
Something called turpentine.
Mm-hmm.
Do you know what that is?
Mm-hmm.
What is it?
Antifreeze.
It's not. I thought you really did know. It's basically harvested resin from living trees.
Yeah.
And rat poison.
Well,
rat poison isn't that, but
yeah.
Extra was rat poison. Yeah. So 3 things.
People associate turpentine with rat poison. That's why I said rat poison. I was telling you what turpentine is. Yeah.
No, they're 2 separate things.
Yeah.
Shut up. And so he put all 3 of these things in his drinks. And I don't know about you, but that's like a super fun cocktail. You should not try it, though, at your next party. I heard it comes, with a really nasty hangover, so I don't recommend.
The fact you have that written in your notes and you said it with such fucking gusto is amazing to me. And I want you to know you never have the authority to make fun of anything I put in my notes ever again. And you're so fucking proud of it. I can tell by the shit-eating grin on your face right now.
I'm so proud I got through with that laugh. I'm so proud. I thought you were going to cut me off before you got to say
No, I'm letting you do the whole thing.
I was just trying so hard just to get it out before a little chuckle came to my mouth.
I can tell you I blacked out. I don't even remember what the sentence is, but I remember it was garbage.
It actually wasn't garbage. It was comedy gold. You're just mad that you...
Oh, no. Nasty hangover. Yeah. I know. I remember.
To be fair, it would leave a nasty hangover. You'd be dead.
Or is that a good hangover?
You're in therapy. For a reason. Anyway, it's reported that he, Tony, also gave Malloy shots of wood alcohol. And wood alcohol is apparently so strong that even just a small amount could cause blindness. Super fun. So Tony waited until Malloy was drunk enough from shots of whiskey before switching to shots of pure 100% wood alcohol, and Malloy just didn't even notice. And he happily swallowed it down, night after night. Again, he's Irish. One night, though, Malloy did fall to the floor unconscious. But before, the gang could celebrate, he didn't die, though. He began to snore, waking up hours later, asking for more. He's iconic. He is just...
This man is making their 70 grand completely moot.
Yeah, iconic. He's iconic. Now, at this point, these guys are just like, what the fuck? Like, what the actual fuck is wrong with this guy?
They're about to put themselves at the 70K into debt.
Exactly. Yeah. They're like, fuck it, let's poison his food.
Oh, yeah.
Reasonable, right? Yeah. Correct, yeah.
The drinks haven't worked, just do the food.
Yeah. So, Malloy was given oysters that had been marinating in dehydrated alcohol for a couple of days. One by one, he scarfed them down in between shots of wood alcohol, and the boys waited patiently for him to finally die. He didn't, because he's a badass, He just belched and carried on drinking.
I want this fucking man's system. I want his liver.
He's Irish as fuck, dog.
I'm Irish too.
But because nothing could possibly get any worse, he obviously didn't die. And Tony again took it to another fucking level, because how could it get any worse than this? He took out a tin of sardines. He opened it and left it open for a few days to rot. He then prepared Malloy a sandwich. He seasoned the sandwich with broken glass, carpet tacks, and finely ground shavings of metals from the sardine can as little garnish. Malloy ate the sandwich, none the wiser, and he asked for another.
Huh? How do you eat glass and you're just like,
It was yummy.
How?
The texture, he loved it.
Had some spice.
He's fucking drunk, bro.
Why isn't it spicy?
No, literally, I don't know, man. He just was fucking...
Is this real?
Yes. This happened. Now, I'm not sure if you're keeping count, but this is 5 plans that they've now come up with. So it's drinking him to death, then they gave him the death cocktail with all the little stuff in it. They gave him the wood alcohol, the oysters, and then the metal sardine sandwich.
My mouth hurts just thinking about that sandwich.
All those failed. And this entire time, the gang... And can I just say how much I love that I keep giving them all little nicknames? I'm like, the gang, the boys, the goose, all of them. I love it. Anyway.
The goose?
The guys, whatever. Oh. I tripped up on the word. Anyway, they've been paying the insurance policy premiums this whole time on 3 different insurance policies. So you're not wrong. So that, along with the cost of the whiskey, and then also the industrial alcohols that they've been putting into his drinks, like the wood alcohol and stuff like that, killing Malloy was more expensive than it was worth, literally. So they were fucking pissed, to say the least. How dare he not just fucking die so they can scam the government?
Right.
How fucking rude of him.
Selfish.
Shocker, though. They take it to the next level, because why would they stop now while they're ahead? Why would they stop? And so because it's winter at this point, they decide to take Malloy to the snow-covered Carrata Park, which is halfway, it's a half mile away from Tony's speakeasy, and they dumped Malloy on a park bench. They ripped open his clothes and they drenched him in 5 gallons of water. Not to fret, though, because this is not the end of our pal Michael Malloy, because to Tony's surprise, he found Malloy in the basement of his speakeasy the next day complaining of a chill. And believe it or fucking not, they still wanted to kill him after this. I would have given up.
I'm putting myself in that situation. I'm Tony. I go into my basement to catch some more whiskey because I got everyone on tab and then drinking me on my whiskey. And then I see Malloy, ripped clothes, just be like, hey, buddy, I got a little chill. You got a blanket? And then just completely what? Just dumbfounded.
I would lose my fucking mind. I honestly wouldn't have let it get that far.
Just stab him in the throat at that point.
I would have given up when he didn't die from the drinking. I probably would have made the death cocktail, and then he did it after that. I'd be like, this is too much for me, man. I would have given up after that. I would have not have even made it to poisoning his food. That just all of it is a lot of fucking work. And the fact that they needed the money that bad, just stop letting people drink on tap.
They're losing the money at this point.
Literally. So the group decided a more brutal way was clearly needed, so they enlisted the help of cab driver Hershey Green to run Malloy down. In the dead of night, they placed a drunken Malloy in the middle of the road. But as the car barreled towards him, he managed to come to his senses even in his inebriated state, and he jumped out of the way. After 2 dodges, the taxi struck him and then backed over him. They left Malloy for dead after, like, passerbys in the road startled them after, obviously, they saw Malloy get hit.
Right.
And can I just say they're fucking pussies for that? Like, you want to fucking kill him, but now you're fucking scared that you're gonna... Fuck you, pussies. That shit pisses me off. A week later, Red posed as, like, Nicholas Melroy's brother and called, which is also funny because they said that he was going to be his cousin and now he's his brother. So they can't even...
cousin at
yeah,
first.
they can't even keep their own story straight. Anyway, he posed as his brother, calling around to the morgues and the hospitals in hope of hearing of Malloy's passing so they could collect the money.
Right.
But there's no sign of him at any of the hospitals, any of the morgues, or anything. But guess what?
He's in the basement.
A few days later, Malloy limped into his favorite speakeasy to see his best buds and to get his free quota of alcohol.
Buds.
Apart from his fractured skull and his broken shoulder,
No big deal.
he was aight. He just won't die. And he's iconic for that.
I don't even... Are you sure this isn't a paranormal story?
I'm 100% sure that this is a true crime story and it's 100% true.
This man just sounds...
I don't know if Michael Malloy is a superhero or if these group of guys is just fucking stupid.
They must just be bad at what they do. They must be like the guys on the fucking Home Alone movies. They can barely...
That is honest to God exactly how I picture them.
Shit. Yeah.
Anyway, with February's insurance premium due... Did I say that right?
Yeah. February's insurance premium
Yeah,
due.
I thought I said with insurance premium due. I was like, whoa.
No, with February insurance.
Okay.
Yeah.
I was like, what
just
did I just say?
This is authentic. Keep it in.
Yeah. They considered hiring a professional hitman, but it was not in the budget. It was way too expensive. They tried running over another...
They should have started with that.
They tried actually running over another drunk man with a cab to cash in the insurance policies and just, like, pin on another guy. But that guy survived, too. So, like...
They are the Home Alone
Yeah, so, like, clearly
duo.
it's them that's the problem.
Yeah.
But unfortunately, I have to say that on February 21st of 1933, the gang did finally kill Michael Malloy. And they did it in the most extreme of extreme ways. They completely fucking pulled out all the stops. In one of the rooms of the saloon, they put one of the rubber ends from the gas light into his mouth, they wrapped the towel lightly around his face, and then they poisoned him with carbon monoxide. They had a crooked doctor who was a friend of Francis forge the death certificate of the name Francis Malroy so they could claim the insurance policies. They received an $800 payout from the Metropolitan Life Insurance Company, and then they went to try collecting the policy from another company, and that company wanted to see the body to, like, verify the death before they paid out on it. So it must have been more than that, because sometimes that's what insurance companies do. So the other insurance company was called the Petritol, I think is how you pronounce the fucking name of it. I don't know. Life insurance company. And they called the authorities because they're like, we want to verify this guy's actually dead, you know?
Right.
That's what they do. And with that company looking into the death, the cops actually realized that the death certificate was not real. It was phony because it said that he died from pneumonia, but that's not how he died. When they looked at the autopsy, it's obviously he died from carbon monoxide poisoning. So the cab driver that they ended up bringing in, Hershey, he wasn't happy at all with his cut. And I'm saying this probably because there's like fucking 15 of them in this group right now. I swear to God. So of course you're not happy with your fucking cut, bro. It's like $15.
Yeah.
He wasn't happy with his cut. So he started talking with the police first. And let me tell you, he was spilling all the motherfucking tea. He was like, this is the plan. These were the motherfuckers. And I don't give a fuck. Fuck them. So during the investigation, Tough Tony Barstone was shot dead. And Joseph Magalone was charged with his murder. That's completely like unrelated to the case, but they were all obviously involved, so it has something to do with it. In the end, Frank, Tony, Daniel, and Joseph all tried to plead insanity, but it didn't work. In the summer of 1934, in the months of June and July, Frank, Danny, Tony, and Joseph were executed.
Nice.
Using something called Old Sparky.
Huh?
Old Sparky, which...
And what is Old Sparky, you ask?
Yeah, what is it?
I don't know.
It's an electric chair.
Oh.
At Sing Song Prison.
I thought you were saying like it sings. Oh my God! Imagine how morbid that would be. If you're just like oh, pick a song, and then they play like a song, and it's like Doja Cat, woman, let me, like it's
That's
just,
like me when I spun off the road. Yeah, but it's very morbid that the electric chair has a name. I just think that's very morbid. So Hershey Green was the only one who didn't get executed. He instead got sent to prison. I don't know what his prison sentence was exactly, but he's the only one who got to live through this. So the final thoughts that I get to leave you with this case are this. 1, if there's one thing the Irish can do, it's motherfucking drink, honey, so don't be surprised.
No.
2, don't murder somebody for fucking money. It's never fucking worth it. And the most important is 3, if by chance someone is trying to murder you for money, don't make it easy for them.
I like how one of those points isn't just simply don't murder anybody. You're just like, just don't murder for money.
That should be obvious, not to murder somebody.
You didn't make it obvious.
If you murder somebody, you're just stupid.
That's true. You are pretty stupid. But anyways, I love that. That's a crazy story.
I already knew about this case, and then Nora was like, put it on the rec sheet, and I was like, dibs. But it's just so crazy to me that he survived like 5 different fucking ploys.
Assassination attempt?
Yeah, and he was just like, just fucking was still kicking, and they were so fucking pissed about it. And the fact that they just kept going. And I get it that they like...
I just can't get over the sandwich.
And they invested so much into it. I get that, but also at the same time, like, why did you invest so much into that?
They should have gave up a while ago. Do you know what he died of?
Yeah, I told you. Carbon monoxide poisoning.
Yeah. Duh. For some reason,
like,
I thought it was caught, but yeah.
Which is, like, kind of sad because, like,
yeah.
everything else was already really gruesome. Like, the drinking yourself to death, that's already really gruesome. This, like, the poisoning, gruesome. But just the fact that they put this tube in his mouth and then, like, tied something around his face so he couldn't rip it out. Just the thought of that and this, like... This sweet old homeless man, I'm assuming he's old, you know, this like homeless man who really is just like the town fucking drunk, like everybody knows him, like the fact that that's how he died, just so these guys could get a payout that they didn't even get.
It would have at least been a little more fitting if he just died from all the alcohol.
Yeah, so it's just really sad that that's how he ended up dying. Just these fucking guys to get money, and then just for what? They didn't even fucking get
$10.
it. Yeah.
Seems worth it.
Yeah. All because this fucking guy didn't know how to run his own fucking speakeasy. Like, eat a dick.
That's what I was trying to say, though. There's so many people involved. I don't know how they expected to get such a huge payout.
Yeah.
Stupid.
They're just fucking idiots.
Stupid. So yeah, that's crazy.
Insane.
The fact that that's even real, that just sounds like some cartoony, like I said, Home Alone shit.
I was so excited to tell you that fucking story, though.
I'm surprised there wasn't a movie about that, like that followed a similar premise.
I was so
maybe
fucking
that should
excited.
be our idea. We should go into the movie biz.
No. I don't want to do that. It's a lot of work.
Fine, let's not do that.
Anyway.
That's all we got.
Yeah, that's it. Bye.
Sorry. But as always, thank you for listening to this episode of Isn't That Odd podcast. You can find us on all of your favorite streaming platforms, Spotify, Apple Music, iHeartRadio, all the
YouTube.
big guys, the little guys.
YouTube
now again, supposedly.
Yep.
So you can find us on all the major platforms and little guy platforms. If you have any conspiracy, true crime, paranormal stories that you want us to talk about, you can find in the show notes a link to a Google Doc where you can give us some ideas, and we might just talk about it on a future episode.
If you have any comments, concerns, anything nice, anything mean you want to say, you can email us at isntthatoddpod@gmail.com, and I will email you back in a timely fashion.
Maybe.
Because I'm nice.
And maybe you'll get lucky and have me one time. Unlikely.
Yeah.
But until then, thanks again for tuning in this week. Join us again next week for another riveting episode of Isn't That Odd podcast. But until then, we hope you enjoyed. We hope you had fun. You enjoyed all the stories, came on a little journey. And until next time,
Don't be a douchebag.
be a menace. But do good.
Don't be a dick. I hope something good happens to you.
Did you say you hope nothing good happens?
I said I hope something good happens for you.
I was like, damn. May all your wildest dreams come true.
I hope you have a great day. I hope the sun shines a little extra on you today. I hope you win the lottery. I hope your water is extra cold today.
If you win the lottery, you better be giving us that $5 a month.
At least send us 10 whole doll hairs.
Yeah, at least $10.
At least 5 for each of us.
Yeah.
Subscribe to our soon-to-be Patreon.
Yeah.
Bye.
Bye.